To feed the big pigs, give them some bread that a local bakery has given us. And good girl. These guys have been having a bit of a mud bath. Nice and dirty. Hey guys, hey guys. Careful, don't hurt yourself. Don't hurt yourself. Don't hurt yourself. Nice. Hey Stanley. Is he not the biggest pig you've ever seen? He's enormous. These are like normal size, and he's just something else. Yeah, they're big. He's like, I reckon he would be 250, 300 kilos. They're trained to this here pig water system. It's just a barrel of water and it comes out. Comes out a little straw, but when they're too hot they get down in there. Good demonstrating, Gwen. Good for you. And make a little wallow if they want. You're a good girl. You're a good girl. She's so good. You're such a good girl. Okay. Danishes and donuts. Yummy. I don't mind feeding these guys on the ground because they do move a lot. So they were there, I don't know, 5 days ago, and now they're in here. Electrified wires and this portable pig watering system and a solar unit that's on a picket that I just move around. They have nice clean ground that they can eat off. They're generally pretty clean. They only manure in that corner down there. The rest of this is free from manure. There might be a few odd ones when they get lazy, but mostly they go to the toilet in one corner of their pen. These guys here are in a little movable portable pen. They're not using it at the moment, but this is the same water system. And yeah, so we move this pen around under the trees as well, and they can have fresh grass and fresh ground. And so I'm visiting these piglets twice a day to give them fresh drinking water. I've also been giving them milk from the cow. They get like a grower piglet pellet, and I do give them some vegetable scraps as well, some greens, just because you know, when they're freshly weaned, you want them to have plenty of fat and plenty of water so that they can adjust to coming off their mother's milk. Sure. These guys have all got deposits paid on them. People buying them to grow them out for their own meat, I guess. Or a lot of them do actually go to be breeders as well. We've had plenty of people in the past to buy our pigs to be breeders. I forgot the car. Go back down, get the car. Chili, come on. Chill, come on. Let's go. Stay. She's a lot better than what she was. She's, oh God, maybe 12 months old now. I have to double check. But she's finally starting to settle down a little bit and listen instead of just running crazy and finding the nearest thing to chase. So not yet. She's not yet a help. I wouldn't say she's a help, but she's getting less of a hindrance. Yeah, one day she'll be a big help on this place, but right now she's still in training and I really have no idea what I'm doing. So we're both sort of learning together, and as long as she doesn't you know, start eating things or attacking things, you know, I should be right. But yeah, right now I'd say she's a pretty good companion for me. She helps me do the chores, but not yet helpful, so still working. I'm just waiting for Maggie to come up so that I can feed her. I've already called her, but she tends to take a while. Maggie, come on. Come on. Maggie? Can you see down there? She's the fat one. No. Maggie. Reggie. Maple. Come on, hun. Let's go, come on. She doesn't really like Chili too much. Chili's chased her one too many times. She doesn't anymore, we worked on that, and now she doesn't chase her, but generally if Maggie is in the laneway or close to the house, Chili doesn't get let out, so she doesn't really have an opportunity to chase Maggie. There was a bit of an incident where Maggie jumped a gate because Chili was chasing her and the gate was shut, and she was like 2 weeks from due with Maple, but Maple came out alright, so all good. Okay, pigs over here that are a little late to be sold, but they do have people to buy them, so they'll be going like this week probably, but they're a little bit older. And I've just moved them out of the veggie garden. So these guys, what, maybe 6 months old, still have the electrified mesh, and they're in here clearing some of the brush. Chili, when she's not out with me, or not working if you like, lives in this pen where she sleeps and eats. And she's in there for her own good because she will eat chickens. If she's not with me, by my side, she will eat chickens. She will chase the cows and the horses and the sheep. It's just because she's a working dog, so she literally has to be beside me or nothing at all. So that pen is good because she can't get out of it, and it's like her off switch, you know, she needs an off switch. Hi, how are you? Hi. Oh, the flies around summertime get so bad here. Hi. Alright, she's waiting for her dinner. There's Reggie. Reggie grew legs like you wouldn't believe and now is very tall. He is castrated, so he's no longer a bull, but he's being grown for meat. And then Sweet Maple there is our newest calf. The flies are really annoying them. And she's going really well. She's a Speckled Park Cross Maggie. Maggie is a cross of 3 cows, let's not go into that. But Maple there is got beautiful Speckled Park colours and markings, so we're super happy to have her, and she will be just grown to see how her udder forms. What was I doing? Those pigs. Maggie needs to be fed. I was going to water the garden. I'll show you guys the meat chickens. Okay, we're going to see how her udder forms. As to whether we keep her for a milking cow, because it is said, and a little bit of research that I've done, that Speckled Park cows are dual purpose, so they're meat and milk. So we're going to look into maybe keeping her as a dairy cow. She is crossed with 3 other different types of dairy cow, what Maggie is. Plan is actually to move Maggie on to a different farm, so just changing things up a little bit. This is the army of meat chickens. They're ready to go in the freezer. We just need a spare day to do that. We got the chicken plucker all set up ready to go, so we'll be doing that very soon. The whole idea of having a dairy cow is to be able to make cheese, ice cream, to harvest cream and harvest butter. Butter comes from cream, and also milk. So milk is just one of many things we want to do with our dairy cow. The fact that she doesn't give any cream is an issue because a lot of those recipes and a lot of those ingredients that we want to harvest out of the milk are not there with cream, right? So we're going to actually move Maggie on. I don't know whether that will be swapping her for a Jersey with one of our local cow breeders that we know, or whether we will sell her and use the money to find a Jersey and buy a Jersey so that we can get cream. Long story short, I'm swapping Maggie for a Jersey, or I'll be selling Maggie to buy a Jersey so that we get cream, so that we can do a lot of those really yummy recipes, plus actually have cream in the fridge that I'm not buying, and make butter and ice cream and all the yummy things that come with having a dairy cow. So this paddock here had pigs in it not long ago. It now has meat chickens and a macadamia orchard. I've planted about 12 more macadamias. I've got mulberry trees, apple trees, fig trees, and there's a lot more trees to go in yet. I've got pineapples in. We're seeing how they go. They're a tropical fruit. We are not tropical here, but we'll see how they go. And then we've got this beautiful big veggie garden that I've been working really hard on. This is our first year in this veggie garden, and I did want to integrate in the more established trees already and just see how we can go. So these are the permanent pig pens that we use when they farrow or have their piglets. Or if the boar is by himself, we'll put him in here just to so he doesn't get out. Not that he really does, but it's just a bit easier. And so we've had pigs in here, just getting rid of the grass because the grass was crazy in there. In that paddock over there, we have the laying flock plus the geese, which I breed just for fun. I like breeding the geese. I really like geese. Plus they're 100% grass fed, so I don't feed them anything. I give them a bit of water and I breed them, and it's fun. So I'm going to give you a quick little tour of the newest veggie garden plot. So I will just say, I do hope to eventually have this whole paddock full of a fruit orchard, a nut orchard. I want to put, if you haven't already, look up Charles Dowding, because that's what this method is. He is an amazing gardener, and I'll never get to his stage, but I take a lot of inspiration from him. And basically what I need his technique to do, I'm just going to show you this chicken because they don't actually eat the plants, they just eat the bugs, but it does disturb the seedlings. That's why I have these mats on here, plus it helps with germination, these mats do, because it shades the seedlings from the scorching hot sun. This is a full sun garden. Well, gets a bit of shade in the morning and a little bit of shade in the afternoon. It's probably 7:30 here at night. It's still this bright. Daylight savings, it's a wonderful thing. So I'm just going to show you this chicken as it picks. So, shade mash helps with germination, doesn't scorch the seedlings, helps to keep the moisture in so that the seedlings don't dry out too quick, helps these meat chickens to not disturb them too much, and it helps to keep the bugs at bay, so the flying insects like the white butterfly and the little slugs and worms and things. Here you can see they are quite large, but I'm keeping them on because there's not a great deal of damage on them, so I will keep them on for a little bit longer. And I have this wood chip. It's a very fine wood chip. You would almost call it a sawdust. We get that from a local mill. That also helps to keep the slugs and snails at bay. Not that we have a lot of slugs and snails, but it does, they do find it hard to wiggle over. I'm super proud of this garden because we had a lot of setbacks to begin with. The seedlings that I did in the glass house stunted because the glass house isn't finished yet. So the temperatures when they get too low can stunt your plants, which pretty much happened with all my seedlings. So this garden is not any of the seedlings that I started this year. So this is the 4th week of summer and the garden looks like this. So I'm really happy. There's a lot of direct sowing. Don't get me wrong, it's patchy, but I'm really happy with the fact that we can harvest from this garden already. And the soil, although it was dry and dense, we did get a little rotary hoe and put a heap of cow manure, pig manure and chicken manure in here to help encourage the good stuff in the soil. And now we have a ton of beautiful zucchinis. Oh, it's really spiky. There's fennel growing, capsicums, tomato. I've got heaps of radishes, carrots, more than I could ever need. Heaps of lettuce. I've got beautiful sunflowers growing. There's still some leeks going, and plenty of nice flowers still popping up. So, like I said, a lot of it is direct sown seeds, and that's why I'm using the mesh. But I'm really happy to see this growing. These here are squash plants that the pigs planted. So the pigs were in here in winter. This whole plot, you can see it's quite a different colour to the normal grass. And there are a fair few of these squash vines popping up. And most of them I've already harvested squash off. and it's delicious. They're like a little small round squash, green squash, light green squash. They're beautiful. But I did just leave some for seed, mostly because I didn't actually notice that they had fruit on them until it was that size. So that one will be for seed. But you know, it's actually, I guess, its own variety, because I didn't plant these, and I know I didn't plant this variety, so the pigs have seeded a cross-pollinated variety that tastes good. So this is actually technically a new variety. So this one here is also going to be for seed, but I have harvested already some smaller squash to eat, and I just mulched them really well because they're out here in the open paddock. It gets a bit hot. So there's another one down there, and plenty of little squashes still to come. Now these little tree covers here are the loosened trees that I'm growing for fodder. So this here at the bottom of our veggie garden paddock will one day be a lane neighbouring the neighbour's house, all the way down there, which will then lead to our front two bigger paddocks, because we eventually want to put the sheep out the front. So the sheep at the moment are in these 3 larger paddocks. When I say larger, they're probably like a 1/4 acre, if that. We don't have many sheep. We've only got, I think there's 8 there. So they are pretty well overgrazing this paddock now. They do really well. They're very fat and in good condition. They do really well on not much grass, but I think they're overgrazing this grass now as much as I rest it and rotate it. And I do want to get more sheep because we like the taste of lamb, and there's good money in sheep. They, if you can successfully breed them, they sell for good money. So they are competing with the geese there. Yeah, you need a resilient garden. Look at these chickens though, honestly. Get out, go. Get out of there. Because they're going to eat all my plants, right? No, they don't. Look at those rows of lettuce. Not a scratch on them. Not a scratch on them. These chickens eat bugs and grain, but they don't eat grass or lettuce or anything green. It's been so sweet to have them in my veggie garden, like little pals, little buddies in my veggie garden. Just, you know, walking around and being cute. And I actually love them. I'm going to miss them when they're gone in a few days. And I'm actually thinking, don't tell anyone, maybe I should keep a rooster and some hens. Story of my life, right? As soon as I get something, I'm like, it's going to be the new thing. I'm going to breed meat chickens. It's going to be amazing. Well, seriously though, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to keep a rooster or 2 and a few of the hens, and I'm going to see if they breed. Because you know what, when somebody tells me that something won't work and I can't do something, that's like a red flag and a bull. I'm like, I'm going to do it. So I'm going to try and breed meat chickens. I don't even know if they lay eggs. Don't tell Dom. Don't tell my husband. I don't know if they lay eggs, but I have been told that they won't lay eggs and that they don't breed. But guys, they are a mix of 2 chickens. They are a mix of 2 chickens. An Indian game fowl and a Plymouth Rock. Plymouth Rock I already have. That's my dual purpose meat and chicken. Meat and egg chicken. So I don't think they're that different. They don't look that different. They look very chicken-like to me. So I'm going to give it a go. And hey, next year if I have meat bird eggs, I'll be cheering, won't I? If not, well, then I'll eat them. I will eat them. I will knock them on the head and I'll eat them. I'm not going to lose, right? Except I have to feed them. And they might not be really good egg layers, but you never know until you try, right? Sometimes I think, you know, people tell you things so that they have the monopoly, right? It's not a conspiracy. I'm not saying it's a conspiracy, but I did once hear that you couldn't grow pineapples. Did anyone else hear that? Did anyone else hear that? That you could not grow pineapples? And now I have pineapples in my veggie garden. So I've never seen a pineapple plant until this year. Never seen a pineapple plant. But I'm going to try breeding meat chickens. And if it doesn't work, like I said, I'll just eat them. I eat them now or eat them when I've figured out if they lay eggs and breed. And I know what you're thinking. What if they're brothers and sisters? That would just be really weird. But I feel like, you know, my odds are okay. There's like 50 of them. Like 50 of them. I'm pretty sure they would have different parents. If one chicken laid 50 eggs at the same time to incubate, hats off to her. That would be an impressive chicken. It's just not possible. It's not possible. You couldn't do it. I don't think they're siblings.